everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Angel Azzarra, and I'm a professional opera singer and voice teacher, and today I'm going to be reacting to José's performance of El Triste en Vivo from 1970. A lot of you have requested that I react and analyze this one, so I'm really looking forward to it. If you have suggestions for songs for me to analyze, please comment below, and don't forget to like and subscribe, because I promise I will get around to reacting to everything you guys request.
Qué triste fue decirnos adiós cuando nos adorábamos más.
So already I hear it's a very, I know this is 1970, but it has a very 60s vibe to his sound. We've got this sort of like slow groove happening, and his voice is beautiful.
Hasta la golondrina emigró, presagiando el final. Qué triste luce todo sin ti, los mares de las playas se van.
I really like that he's doing these long extended sustains where he sends a vibrato at the beginning and then it comes in na 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 na, and right at the end he's able to add in vibrato because everything is set up well. Vibrato is just a natural reaction to a healthy vocal setup, and he's definitely good enough that he can manipulate his vibrato how he wants. I also liked that one, just a little bit of swell in not just the volume that he's singing at, but also in the color. He's got a lot of colors to play with in his voice. Oh, wow, I know I'm stopping at an inopportune time, but again, I have not seen this, so I'm sorry if it's awful timing. But he's got such great sustain. I don't think that he's singing at the top of his range. Like, I'm sure that there is more that he can do, but when he's up in this higher middle register, na da da da, just in that region of his register, instead of doing that sends a vibrato and then swell, he's letting it just be super healthy phonation, and he's starting each note with vibrato, and it gives it, I don't want to say a warmth, because there's warmth to his voice when he's singing without vibrato, but it gives it just a little bit more momentum to the sound, especially while he's up there. The air is just spinning a little bit faster while he's creating that vibrato. And it sounds beautiful. I'm gonna keep listening. Like right there, la da 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 da. The vibrato starts right at the beginning of the note.
Todos dicen que soy, que siempre estoy hablando de ti. no saben que pensando en tu amor.
And right there, he does the slow vibrato when he's in his middle register. Na, da, da, da. And then the vibrato as he goes higher is right on the money. I don't know why exactly he's doing this. I don't think it's because he needs to have vibrato to have those notes spin. Some people do when they're in the upper portion of their register. They really need that spin and they can't lock it out and sing senza vibrato. I think that he would have no problem singing senza on these notes. I think he's doing it for color and again to create a sort of urgency to the sound. It's just a musical choice, not a technical choice, in my opinion. And right there, he's saying his highs, senza vibrato, and then added it in. So clearly, exactly, he doesn't need to sing these notes with vibrato. He's doing it to create just that excitement that you feel when he's singing these higher notes with vibrato. And then when he does it senza, it's almost like you're on the edge of your seat waiting for that color that the vibrato adds to come back into his sound. I like his re-articulation of the note. Oh, it's just a tiny, like what's happening technically, it's just a tiny little scoop down, maybe a semitone below, and then right back up to the pitch. But what's happening is sort of a surge in breath support. So he's obviously singing diaphragmatically. All of these great singers are singing diaphragmatically. You can tell he's got low shoulders when he breathes in. That's not what I'm talking about. It's that when he's doing this little bit of swell in his abdomen that you hear in his voice, is raising the diaphragm, which is then putting an infinitesimal amount of pressure on the lungs, which expels air faster. And it's not much. It really is a very microscopic amount, but it's enough to create that swell. And most singers, you don't necessarily train to do this. Most singers learn this technique by mimicry or by being naturally gifted. It's not really something you can teach. You just have to be an expressive musician. You can teach it, but it really shouldn't be necessary. Wow, I mean, he has fantastic breath support, and he's using these little swells not only to continue pushing this song forward and keeping it interesting and keeping it moving, but also I think kind of just to show off that not only can he sustain these incredibly long phrases, but he can sustain these incredibly long phrases and then manipulate his voice into pushing out more air on those swells. It's a tiny amount, but it does take more air to create that swell and that slight dip in the sound. So in doing so, he's just kind of like showing off a little. Not a lot, but it makes it more impressive on those sustained pitches. And it also continues so that it doesn't feel like the note is dying. It feels like it's just continually moving out. And you also see in his gestures, he's doing these Da, 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 da. He's sort of, I mean, it just looks like stage presence, but he's almost helping himself phrase this song, phrase what he's doing by keeping it constantly moving forward. And that's what I really like about what I'm hearing from him, is that, you know, anybody can have a beautiful voice. Many people have beautiful voices, but not everybody can create that sensation of, when you hear them, you feel like you're on the edge of your seat to hear more, because they just are gripping in the way that they phrase the music. And he has a beautiful voice, clearly, but he's also, I just want to hear more. Like, I'm on the edge of my seat because he's drawing me in with these swells, with these attacks that he's doing on the pitches. And it's beautiful. Thank you, everyone who recommended José to me. I'm so glad that I was introduced to him. I think that this song is very beautiful, and I think his voice is very beautiful. But what is so impressive to me is that he phrased everything so well. Even though the song, you know, had a lot of sections that sounded similar, everything felt new to me because of the way that he was using the colors in his voice and the way he was using his breath to articulate even the sustained pitches and his swells, the way he played with his vibrato. It was all just culminating in a really interesting, not only a beautiful performance, but an interesting one. So thank you so much for introducing me to him. If you have enjoyed this video or you find it informational or helpful, please like and subscribe. And toy, toy, toy until next time.